Imagine fighting for 3 armies, surviving battles that would have finished a lesser man, and living to tell the tale. Meet the incredible story of Sergeant Jack Harris, a man who defied all odds to become one of the most decorated veterans of World War II. This is a story that will leave you speechless, questioning the very fabric of human endurance, and marveling at the incredible journey of a man who would go on to fight for 3 armies, each one more unforgiving than the last. Born in 1920, in the small town of Liverpool, England, Jack Harris grew up with a strong sense of duty and a desire to serve his country. As the shadows of war loomed over Europe, Jack enlisted in the British Army, eager to join the fight against Nazi Germany. His first taste of combat was in North Africa, where he witnessed the brutal battles of El Alamein and Tobruk. Harris's actions on the battlefield earned him a reputation as a fearless and resourceful soldier, and he quickly rose through the ranks, becoming a sergeant in his early 20s. But Harris's decision to fight for the British Army was not one he would stick with for long. In 1943, with the Allies gaining momentum in North Africa, Harris found himself in the midst of a chaotic and desperate situation. As he fought his way through the Italian countryside, Harris began to question the true nature of the war and the motives of his commanders. He became disillusioned with the British Army's leadership and the treatment of its soldiers, and he began to seek out a new fight, one that would give him a sense of purpose and belonging. That's when Harris made the unthinkable decision to desert the British Army and join the American Army. It was a move that would put him at risk of court-martial and imprisonment. But Harris was driven by a desire to be part of something bigger than himself. He crossed into American lines, where he was met with a mixture of suspicion and curiosity. Harris's decision to join the American Army would prove to be a turning point in his life, as he found himself fighting alongside some of the bravest and most skilled soldiers in the world. Harris's first taste of combat with the American Army came on June 6, 1944, during the D-Day invasion of Normandy. As the Allies stormed the beaches of Omaha and Utah, Harris found himself in the thick of the battle, fighting for every inch of ground. He earned his first Purple Heart for his actions on that day, and he would go on to earn a second Purple Heart for his heroism during the Battle of the Bulge. But Harris's incredible journey was far from over. In 1945, as the Allies closed in on Berlin, Harris found himself disillusioned once again with the war and the leadership of the American Army. He began to feel that the Allies were making a grave mistake by fighting on, that the war was already won, and that the cost in lives was too high to bear. Harris's concerns were shared by many of his comrades, and together they began to secretly discuss a plan to desert the American Army and join the Soviet Army. It was a move that would put Harris at risk of imprisonment and even execution, but he was driven by a desire to be part of something bigger than himself, to be part of the fight against the common enemy of Nazi Germany. Harris and his fellow soldiers made their way across the Russian border, where they were met with a mixture of suspicion and curiosity. Harris was amazed by the scale and ferocity of the Soviet war effort, and he was drawn into the chaos of the Eastern Front. As Harris fought with the Soviet army, he witnessed the horrors of war firsthand. He saw the devastation of Stalingrad, the brutality of the Soviet penal system, and the heroism of the Soviet soldiers who fought against impossible odds. Harris's actions on the battlefield earned him a second Purple Heart, and he would go on to become one of the most decorated veterans of World War II. But Harris's incredible journey was far from over. In the years that followed, he would struggle to come to terms with the trauma of war, to reconcile the horrors he had witnessed with the memories he had made. He would go on to become a successful businessman, a devoted father, and a humble hero, but the scars of war would stay with him forever. This is the story of Sergeant Jack Harris, a man who defied all odds to become one of the most decorated veterans of World War II. His incredible journey is a testament to the human spirit, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope, always a way forward. He fought for 3 armies and survived all of them. Imagine facing unimaginable horrors on the battlefield, only to be captured by the enemy and forced to fight again. For Sergeant Jack Harris, this was a reality he faced not once, but twice. In a harrowing tale that defies logic and pushes the limits of human endurance, Harris's story is a testament to the unbreakable human spirit. How did one man manage to survive the unimaginable horrors of war, only to be captured by the enemy and survive a second time? The answer lies in Harris's journey as a prisoner of war. In the depths of the Soviet Union, Harris was subjected to brutal treatment and forced labor, his body battered and broken. Yet it was not the physical pain that would haunt him for the rest of his life, but the psychological toll of war. As Harris reflected on his experiences, he revealed the struggles he faced with PTSD. The memories of his time as a prisoner of war continued to haunt him, leaving him with a deep sense of unease and anxiety. But Harris's story doesn't end there. In a daring escape from the Soviet army, he made his way back to the West, where he was hailed as a hero. The world marveled at his bravery, but Harris knew the truth. He was just a man who refused to give up. Harris's journey back to the West was a long and arduous one. He navigated treacherous landscapes, avoiding enemy patrols and scrounging for food in the harsh wilderness. But it was his determination and resilience that ultimately led him to safety. As he emerged from the shadows, Harris was met with open arms and a hero's welcome. But for Harris, the real challenge was only just beginning. The struggle to come to terms with the demons of his past. The question remains, what drives a man to endure such unimaginable hardships, only to emerge stronger and more determined than ever? For Harris, the answer lies in the unbreakable human spirit, a spirit that refuses to be defeated, no matter the circumstances. As we delve deeper into Harris's story, we'll uncover the secrets of his survival and discover what makes him one of the most extraordinary war veterans of all time. As the years passed since the end of World War II, Sergeant Jack Harris's name became synonymous with bravery and resilience. But Harris's story doesn't end there. His bravery and selflessness have inspired countless others, and his legacy continues to be felt today. In fact, Harris's post-war life was marked by a continued dedication to veterans organizations, where he worked tirelessly to support those who had served alongside him. Harris's work with the Royal British Legion earned him widespread recognition, and he became a beacon of hope for many veterans struggling to adjust to civilian life. He also made appearances in films and books, sharing his incredible story with the world and cementing his place in the annals of military history. The public's fascination with Harris's life only grew stronger, with many regarding him as a true war hero. In recognition of his services to the country, the British government finally bestowed upon Harris the honors he so rightly deserved. Though the years that followed were marked by both joy and sorrow, Harris's unwavering spirit remained unbroken. His story is a testament to the human spirit's capacity for resilience, and a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope for a brighter tomorrow.